All right, dudes, let's talk a little bit more about Death Stranding, the director's cut. Okay, so just a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video saying we're not going to get a sequel to Death Stranding. And then guess what? At the Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley has a surprise guest, and it's none other than Joaquin Mogren, a.k.a. My boy Hideo. Hideo shows up, and he's got, guess what? He's got an emotional story about how COVID has changed how he creates games. And now he drops this trailer. And this is a trailer that looks an awful lot like Death Stranding, but it also, because it has Sam Porter Bridges, but it also has that classic lens flare from Metal Gear that we saw in the Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes. And then we see Sam Porter Bridges, and then he's sneaking up against a wall, totally Solid Snake style, right? He looks through the corridor. He's got to get past these soldiers. He sees the ventilation shaft with the rat. Classic Metal Gear. He looks over. He sees a box. Classic Metal Gear. So what this is, and this is my theory, and by the way, this whole video, what it's about, I'm just speculating. This is purely my reaction to the video. I was super glued to the screen, to be honest. This is a very classic, kind of a cheeky Hideo that we're getting here. I mean, even the oranges, this is all throwbacks. If you're a Metal Gear fan, if you're a Kojima follower, like, you know all this stuff. This is like, I'm surprised there was no watermelon in there. That's such a classic thing, for his series, having the character from Death Stranding, trying to figure out how is he going to get past these soldiers. Is he going to use some Metal Gear kind of a tactic? Is he going to hide in a cardboard box? Is he going to crawl through the ventilation shaft? What's he going to do? I'm surprised they didn't do the octo camo or something too. Or eating a frog or something. A little throwback to all the old Metal Gear games, because the biggest point of feedback I think that Kojima got is like, dude, we want a little bit more stealth. We want to sneak into these facilities. We want to sneak through these bases. So my theory on what we're looking at is essentially the director's cut for Death Stranding. He's going to implement some stealth mechanics, but I think that what he's trying to say is he's not going to do the same old thing. By Sam Porter Bridges taking that cardboard box, popping it right back up on the shelf, we're left to wonder, how's he going to get past these dudes? He's going to have to use something new. He's going to have to use some new technique or tactic. And maybe this is just Kojima also looking at the situation almost through the eyes of Sam Porter Bridges going, let's see, I can't fall back on my same old tricks. Now, I don't have a problem with him falling back on his same old tricks at all. I just, like I said, man, in my previous video, give me more of that Metal Gear. I'm cool with that. I do not have a problem just getting more of that Metal Gear. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is exciting. This is something that leads me to think like we're going to be maybe going into some of these satellite dish facilities, some of these underground bunkers. Maybe we're going to actually see some other characters. And maybe in this, quote, director's cut, we're going to sneak up on more of these mule bases, and we're going to actually choke out some dudes, and we're going to... I'm hoping for just a little bit more of that. Like, I don't mind reusing everything we got, but giving the character the opportunity to sneak into some of those bases to maybe rescue hostages or even wear disguises, getting us a little bit more of that infinitely replayable kind of a stealth action that we got in the Phantom Pain, for example. Now, I have no problem. I have absolutely no problem with having a new character maybe in that world that we swap out with, who doesn't transport goods, but actually can crawl, for example. I have no problem with having a character who does hide in a cardboard box. It's not some kind of a weird copyright infringement. I don't care, man. I don't care if he's Foxhound or Chipmunk Hound. I don't care. What I want is that gameplay. What I want is sneaking through bases. What I want is giving me I want Kojima to give me a bunch of tools so that I can trick the AI, so that I can stealthily infiltrate and then get whatever data disk or whatever package or whatever from their base, and then sneak out without being detected, so that I can feel like a super badass sneaky spy. So long as I get that, man, I'm pretty happy with even giving me a director's cut. Now, I do think this is a little bit sneaky, if you pardon the pun, because I do think that he's got another project going on. There's a lot of speculation and rumor as to, a Silent Hills game. I think a lot of people were a little disappointed that this was not an announcement for a new game from Kojima, but it is in line with what he's always done, which is finding a way to sell you the same game twice. This has always happened. This has happened since Metal Gear Solid. So even with, no, I would say even with his NES games. So we bought the NES Metal Gear, and then we find out, hey, this wasn't even a legit Metal Gear. So this was developed by some other guy using the same assets or some other team. And then so he sells us the MSX versions again. And then so we're buying the same games again. And then Metal Gear Solid, then he releases a PlayStation Metal Gear Solid, and then he releases the VR missions, which is basically add-on, which is, more of, it's sort of something, it's a filler in between the other games that he's developing. So it's probably other people on his team that are doing a lot of the development so that he can move forward with the next game's development, which is smart from a business standpoint, especially if you can repackage your old product. With Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, he released later Metal Gear Solid Subsistence, Metal Gear Solid 2 Subsistence. And so that was basically adding on some more VR missions, adding on more stuff. So you buy the same game again, but you get a ton more new content, right? He did this with Snake Eater. Again, seeing a pattern, it happens every time. The only time it didn't happen was with Metal Gear Solid 4, which we still don't even have on the PlayStation 4. What the hell? You can't even play this game on current gen systems, man. Come on, Konami. And then he did it again with Metal Gear Solid 5, where we bought essentially Ground Zeroes, which was just a little intro, is a little taste. And then you get the full game of Phantom Pain. And I guarantee you that if he would have stayed at Konami, we would have had Metal Gear Solid, the Phantom Pain complete, or director's cut, where you get the battle tank and all this stuff that was in the art book that was cut. So anyway, that's my immediate reaction, I guess you'd say. I just watched the trailer last night. I am actually pretty excited about it. I will go through and replay Death Stranding all over again. I am hoping for some real change-ups, though. I'm hoping that the character can put down his packages, crawl down on the ground, through the grass, give us a few more routes into some of the bases, give us a few more bases even. That would be really exciting. Maybe another area that we didn't get to go to before. I'm a little less stoked about the historical parts where you're kind of going through World War II stuff. But, maybe there will be a little bit more clarity to the story. I think that's ultimately kind of what he wanted to do. This was, I think, originally planned to be a DLC. This was something that there was I follow the leaks on this, guys. I've been watching this for the last couple of years, and there was a lot of talk about a DLC that had something to do with 1998, which involved a little bit more stealth action. So I think we're going to see something with that in this. Maybe some tools, some toys. I always felt like the stealth genre has not yet died. There's still so much more that can be done with stealth games. This is why I've been very excited. Hopefully they'll announce something with Splinter Cell at E3 this year, which has still not yet happened as of the time of this recording. But dudes, sound off in the comments. I want to know what you guys think of the Death Stranding Director's Cut. Are you excited about this game? Do you care at all? In the next coming months, I just got I got a thing called the Genki, which is the Shadowcast. And this is basically like an Elgato. It's like a cheap Elgato, $49. So I'm going to be finally getting around to recording my Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty playthrough. I think I'm going to play it on the PS3 version, Subsistence, because it's got up-res textures, higher frame rate, and overall improved performance with widescreen and all that. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't do these on a schedule. These are just whenever I do them. So I'll see you guys in the next video, probably video game related. All right, till then, ciao, baby.